Hello, it's time for Flashback, the weekly history quiz. Let's find out what's happened in history. We'll start in 1961. East Germans deny any plans for a Berlin Wall. When they do build it, they call it a protection rampart. Against that, Europeans start building a precious spice from Egypt called toddy, which is used as a medicinal cure-all. It turns out to be basically chimney soot. I think we can place that several hundred years before this. Yes, 1300. Aaron Burr complains that the Senate has too many rules. He gets rid of some, like a rule to cut off debate, accidentally helping to create the filibuster. The law of unintended consequences. I mean, that'll be the end of the 18th or beginning of the 19th century, roughly. Yes, 1805. When his mother can't sit comfortably in movie theater seats, Richard Hollingshead creates the first drive-in theater in New Jersey. It'll definitely go here, 1940s maybe? 1933, even earlier. The Vedas, some of the earliest sacred texts, are first composed in India. Cows are revered in part for giving nourishment and milk, as mothers do. That's obviously well before 1300. Yes, 1500 BCE, indeed. Okay, Otzi the Iceman is born. Before becoming Europe's oldest mummy, he wears leather and eats milk. Before becoming Europe's oldest mummy, he wears leather and eats meat, but avoids milk. Why? He's lactose intolerant. That's a nice counterpart to the Vedas here. Cows revered for giving nourishment and milk. Anyway, that'll be before this, presumably. Yes, well earlier, 3300 BCE. Wide range today. Reasonably wide. I guess sometimes we have millions of years. Emil Berliner invents a flat disc, the record, to play music. It holds a few minutes of audio, so long songs need pages of discs, called an album. That's a great bit of etymological detail there. That'll obviously go between 1805 and 1933, presumably the late 19th century. Yes, 1887. The U.S. purchases a frigid new territory. Inspired chefs soon develop an ice cream dessert named after it, the Baked Alaska. It's definitely the 19th century. I think it's before or after 1887. Boy, I should know this because I was specifically listening to something about Alaska and its purchase recently. I think it's before this. Yes, 1867, good. Mary, Queen of Scots, tries to escape Loch Leven Castle. She dresses as a maid, but is caught because of her hands. They're too soft to belong to a servant. Absolutely hoisted there. That'll be between 1300 and 1805, clearly. It's annoying that I can't remember the year more specifically, but there we go, 1568. Okay, well, good, there we have it. Okay, and pretty close percentages this week in terms of people getting the perfect score and people getting the next score range. Let's take a look at what tripped people up. Okay, so Otzi the Iceman was... So 16% of people placed that incorrectly, so reasonably good percentage there. A very high percentage of people correctly placed the Vedas, the sacred texts, and just about everybody correctly placed the spice, tutty, the chimney soot, unsurprisingly. Again, a very high percentage correctly placed Mary, Queen of Scots, and an overwhelmingly very high percentage of people correctly placed Aaron Burr and the Senate rules. Nearly half of people misplaced the U.S. purchase of Alaska, which, is understandable because it's not that far from the next item, 1887. It's very easy to imagine putting that on either side of that. So there we go. Let's see. 13% of people misplaced the record. That's interesting. I wonder when that would have been put. After 1933, maybe? And then the drive-in, 97%, very high percentage. So yeah, it was really, this week it was really Alaska was the one that tripped people up. And then nothing else was very incorrectly placed, except to some extent, Otzi the Iceman. All right, well, there we go. That was the week in history. Back next week with more of this. Bye for now.